You will keep pouring money, time, and years of your life into something you already know is failing, and you'll call it commitment. It isn't. It's a glitch. The cash you spent is gone whether you quit today or bleed for another decade. Yet your mind treats walking away as a fresh loss instead of an escape. This is the sunk cost fallacy, and it is quietly steering some of the worst decisions you will ever make. You finish the terrible meal because you paid for it. You sit through the boring movie because you bought the ticket. And on a much bigger scale, you stay in the wrong job, the wrong relationship, the wrong business. Because leaving would mean admitting all that came before was for nothing. A sunk cost is any time, money, or effort you have already spent and can never get back no matter what you do next. A rational mind would ignore it completely. The only thing that should ever guide your next move is the future. What will this cost me going forward, and what will I actually get in return? That's it. But you don't decide that way, and neither does anyone else. Instead, you drag the past into every choice like a weight chain to your ankle. The more you've already sunk into something, the harder it becomes to let go, even when every signal screams that letting go is the smart, healthy, obvious move. The size of the past loss hijacks a decision that should only be about the future. There's a version of this so famous it earned its own name, the Concorde fallacy. Britain and France spent years in staggering sums building a supersonic passenger jet, and long before it ever flew, the people running the project knew the economics were hopeless. It would never make money. The rational move was to stop, but they had already spent so much that stopping felt unthinkable. All that investment would be wasted. So they kept going and going, pouring good money after bad, all to avoid admitting the money already spent was lost. The plane flew, it was beautiful, and it bled cash for decades. The lesson is brutal and simple. The more you've invested in a sinking thing, the more determined you become to keep it sinking. So why does an otherwise smart mind fall for this every single time? Start with loss aversion. Psychologists have shown again and again that losing something hurts you roughly twice as much as gaining the same thing feels good. Walking away forces you to feel the full weight of the loss right now, in one sharp hit. Staying lets you pretend the loss hasn't happened yet, that the money is still in play, that it could still turn around. Your brain would rather chase a fantasy of recovery than swallow the pain of a confirmed loss. So it keeps you in the game, feeding the machine, protecting you from a feeling instead of protecting your actual future. Notice the exact word that keeps you trapped: wasted. You don't want the money, the years, the effort to have been for nothing. So you throw more good resources after the bad ones, telling yourself that if you just push a little further, none of it will have been wasted after all. It's a trick, and it runs backwards. The spending is already wasted. That happened the moment the value disappeared. Continuing doesn't redeem those losses, it only adds fresh ones on top. But the mind can't stand the idea of a clean, total loss, so it keeps buying tomorrow's regret with today's money, all to avoid facing a bill that already came due yesterday. There's a second engine underneath the money, and it's uglier: your ego. Quitting means admitting you were wrong. It means telling your partner, your team, your investors, or just yourself that the choice you defended, the plan you championed, the person you swore was worth it, was a mistake. That confession stings, so you avoid it by staying the course, because as long as you're still fighting, the verdict isn't in yet. This is where commitment and consistency come in. You want to see yourself as someone who follows through, who doesn't flake, who honors their word. That self-image is admirable right up until it chains you to a corpse and calls it loyalty. This bias is so reliable that entire industries are built to farm it. The casino watches you lose and knows that the deeper you go, the harder it is to stand up and walk out, because leaving now would lock in the loss. So you stay, chasing the money that's already gone, and the house smiles. The all-you-can-eat buffet counts on you overeating to get your money's worth, making yourself miserable to justify a price you already paid. You wait on hold for 40 minutes and refuse to hang up, because hanging up would waste the 40 minutes, so you burn a full hour instead. Everywhere money and time change hands, someone is quietly betting you won't be able to walk away. Step past the small stuff, though, because that's where sunk cost does its real damage. You stay 4 more years in a career you resent because you already spent 8 getting here. You keep a dying relationship on life support because of the anniversaries, the shared history, the wedding you paid for, telling yourself that leaving would erase all those years. You prop up a failing business long past the point of sense, feeding it savings and sleep and health, because shutting it down would make the whole struggle count for nothing. In every case, the pattern is identical. A decision that should only weigh the future gets kidnapped by a past you can never get back, no matter what you choose next. Here's the part that turns a bad habit into a spiral: escalation of commitment. The failing thing doesn't just hold you in place. It demands more, and the more you give, the more trapped you become. You throw in more money, so now there's even more to lose by quitting, so you throw in even more. Each new investment raises the stakes of admitting defeat, which makes the next investment feel even more necessary. It's a loop that tightens as it spins, and it's exactly how people lose not just a bad bet, but everything around it. The smartest, most disciplined people fall hardest here, because their discipline becomes the very rope that keeps them tied to the sinking ship. So how do you escape a trap built into your own wiring? You interrupt it with a single, ruthless question. Knowing what I know right now, would I choose to start this today? Not, how much have I already put in? That number is dead, forget it. Only this, from where I stand this moment, is the road ahead worth walking? If you wouldn't sign up for it fresh, then you shouldn't stay in it now, and the years behind you change nothing about that math. Treat every day as a clean decision. The past can't be spent again. The only resources you actually control are the ones you haven't handed over yet, and those are the only ones worth protecting. The sunk cost fallacy whispers that walking away wastes everything you've spent, when the truth is the exact reverse. Staying is what keeps the waste alive. What's gone is gone. It was gone before you sat down to decide, and no amount of future suffering will buy it back. The only honest question is whether the road ahead is worth the next step, judged entirely on what lies ahead and never on what lies behind. Real strength isn't refusing to quit. It's the harder, rarer courage to look at everything you've poured in, feel the sting, and still choose the future over the sunk and unrecoverable past.